religious now and constantly trying to get me to go to church. And, like, has more than one cross hanging on the wall and paintings of Jesus.
So, but no, I'm sorry.
No.
When you get gossip, normally that's from like your peers. So like, were you like hanging out with your dad's old college buddies, or
no? Me and my aunt have spent probably like hundreds of hours of my life psychoanalyzing my father.
Okay, this is his sister, I assume.
No, my aunt. His sister. Yeah, his sister.
Okay.
It'd be weird if it was like your mom's sister.
Yeah.
Who's like obsessed with your dad.
I never got it.
I like that idea. I think it's very funny.
It makes my family seem way more incestuous than it probably is not. It's not.
It's not. No incest. 0%.
We are not the Lannisters.
Well, then you also...
The Houston Lannisters.
Oh my god, why are we all okay with that? I thought about that fucking last week. I was like, guys, of all the things that people get mad about with Game of Thrones, why has no one been like, oh, and by the way, our favorite characters are fucking incestuous twins? What the fuck? Screw you.
Because their characters are so complex. Like, I think first season you cared. You're like, that's really gross. But now we've been watching the show for so long, and also, like, Jamie has, like, moments of real decency.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, I forgot that you pushed Bran out a fucking window.
Oh, God. Seriously, what the fuck? All right, go back to what you wanted to talk about, Delia, with reference to the hot goss.
Well, you also had mentioned at some point, so this is after your father was in college, that he had a girlfriend who was a witch.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So, how did that... He ran to Jesus for a bit, and then...
Well, like,
And the Mother Gaia.
It's like...
He was checking out the Mystical Strange.
It was weird because, like, growing up, he was Buddhist for a while, and so I was Buddhist for a while. I kind of, like, shopped every denomination of Christian, and I was, like, I went to Church of Christ, I went to Baptist Church, I went to Catholic Church, I went to Methodist Church, I went to Episcopalian Church, I was in Buddhist temples, and things like that, so... It's interesting. He's always been a very spiritual person. Like, he reads a lot of philosophy. He reads a lot of, like, books entitled, like, what was the real Jesus like? And
I think I'd like your dad.
he's interesting. He went to, like, West Point, and was in the military for a while, and then is a lawyer, and I know he's kind of trying to find spirituality, so he started dating this woman, and she was into that sort of world, but I did think it eventually got them to split up.
Huh. Interesting. Wild.
So, like... I thought that was really interesting because it seemed like those conflicting ideologies, and earlier you were talking about how the majority of the things that you read is like you're very traditional and you like rules and things, but you also like have this other...
Millie's really digging in. I'm liking this.
Yeah, me too. No, that's an excellent point, because, like, Brett's an old lady, and I mean that in the nicest way. You're the youngest person in the room.
But you're also very progressive, which is a lot of fun.
Well, that's true. You're prepping for when you're going to be old. Like, in 60 years, man, you're going to be the most progressive, awesome old lady. But I wonder, perhaps, if then you're sort of, like... adherence to old school ideals or like rules and traditions are because you had such a wild seeking father. Like, he's like just looking for everything.
It's interesting though, because like I think people are just generally a mass of contradictions, and I see my father as a contradiction, and I see myself as a contradiction. Because, he was constantly seeking and constantly searching, but in some ways he was very traditional, I think, especially in terms of gender roles. Like, growing up, I was very much emphasized, like, about my femininity, and, like, I couldn't wear my hair a certain way, and I had to, like, constantly be walking with a partner. Like, I was never safe, and, like, I couldn't try out for the wrestling team, or I couldn't speak German because that's not an attractive language for a woman. So in some ways very traditional, but then in other ways he was very, like, growing up, I remember his mantra for me was keep the plan, dump the man. And he was always like, you should always follow your professional goals and put that before your relationships.
Keep the plan, follow the man.
keep the plan, dump the man.
Dump the man.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's not.
That was the mantra he like would.
Keep the man. No.
So I'm like,
Germans
are you
are-
a feminist or are you super traditional? It's a very contradicting message
Oh.
I think German sounds great coming out of
a woman's mouth.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with German, though.
Well-
your true love was a German woman.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing to be done.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is.
See, you know, like the fact that she said my
Dolly,
name,
will
like
you grab
Wandel.
my drink out of there, too?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like the only one that just that sounds better than French to me.
Thanks. I think that's super interesting. And the other thing that I wanted to point out in your thing that you said just now is that you said that your dad is a massive contradictions like all people, but you're quite young to know that. Like, I've only just acknowledged my parents' like humanity.
Yeah.
Like I've believed my parents were these like ethereal beings that could do no wrong pretty much until about maybe like 2 years ago.
Wow. Really?
I mean, you know, when my dad passed away, I had to acknowledge he was a human being.
Yeah.
So I was like, But even then, I still idealize him because he, you know, no longer exists. So there's no like, he can't do anything anymore to like ruin it.
Yeah.
So it's like he gets more and more perfect every year that he's been away, which is even better. And then I'm just like, dude, my dad was a shit. I don't remember anything bad ever. But like my mom, I hold her on such a pedestal. Though I also think of it in the solipsist way, where I'm like, she doesn't exist. Even though she made me, I'm all like, listen, I'm not around her, so she's a puff of smoke.
Yep.
She doesn't exist at all.
I get you.
But yeah, I guess I've never. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of a like smart, mature way of like looking at human beings. Whereas I guess I personally have a bit more of the like, but aren't they? Couldn't they? Maybe.
I mean, I keep hoping that people are going to be better than they are, but no, it's true.
No, I know.
But like, my parents have been divorced my whole life, so they mostly, that means I've grown up between two nemesis.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think both my parents are good people, but they're not good parents. Like, just because you give $1 to a homeless person doesn't mean you're going to be the great at the having a kids thing.
Oh my god, that's such a good example.
Yeah. And so, you know, they divorced, and so they weren't necessarily the best parents. And, you know, one of the things that people tell you when you don't have great parents is they'll look at you and they'll be like, you need to start to see your parents as people. And so from a young age, you're like, oh, they're not perfect, but they are my parents. So then you start to deal with them as people, and then you're like, okay, I shouldn't hold you up to this ideal, so I can't hold everybody else up to that ideal. I have a moral code, but that doesn't mean everyone's gonna like show up to a party on time or bring a hostess gift.
Oh, you show up
Or answer.
I never show up to a party empty-handed, and then that's, I guess, where the old-fashioned traditional part of me kicks in, is it was like, that is just fucking rude.
Yeah.
Mental note.
I'm so happy.
yeah,
I'm so sorry I went to your house the first time and didn't bring a gift.
It makes
You
me
brought
really
your lovely
happy
company.
because I brought flowers.
You did. And
Aw.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is that something you instinctually did, or you just knew that Brett was gonna like write you out of her life if you didn't?
I, for whatever reason, felt instinctually.
You felt compelled to do it.
Yeah, like I saw flowers and I thought that seems like a nice thing to do. I would love it if somebody brought flowers. And then I had somewhere to go actually, and I was like, hell yeah.
I felt like the prettiest girl at the ball. And that's how you want to feel at your own party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like lots of wine. We had lots of wine. That was so much fun.
And we had good food.
I was really bummed that I had to leave because
It's
it was
okay.
like, this is so much fun. I want to stay.
I want to host another dinner party sometime again soon. Maybe do something summery, do a grill.
Invite me. I'll bring a ham.
A ham?
Yeah, I like bringing ham, and not in like a dumb way. I literally every dinner party I've ever been invited to, I'd bring a ham. And because I want a ham. It's not even really because I'm like, hey, I want you guys to smile. If I'm going to a dinner party and there isn't ham, I'm not going to enjoy that dinner party.
So you bring the ham.
To make sure that I can enjoy the dinner party.
Is that a South Carolina thing?
No, that's a Wendell thing. I'm all about pork. And yeah, it kind of is. South Carolina, like, that's what barbecue is pork. You know, you guys smoke beef or, brisket here, and it's like, it's all about pigs in South Carolina. So, yeah, no, I just get, and I make it look like the cartoon ham with, like, the pineapples and the cherries and stuff like that, and it's always...
Oh, so
it's picturesque.
Like in the back of a Betty Crocker, and there's some woman like bending over an oven, being like, "Ding."
Yeah, except that woman's me, and I'm my
Betty Crocker had the most perfect tits of all.
Yeah, they were like two sideways triangles. Mm-hmm. It was fucking tight,
and they never got burnt when she leaned in the oven.
Oh my god,
no,
that's such a good.
She was like the Khaleesi. They like were
she was
perfect.
You're so supportive tonight.
She's the Khaleesi.
I love it. Everything's like, man, that's such a beautiful way to say that. I love how like supportive you are today. Not that you're not always, but
I think it's because I felt super shitty the past 2 months, and I feel like I'm just like just breathing, and I feel like I like everybody in this room, and I still walked into it like I have to like say funny shit or act a certain way, and it's like, no, I've interacted with all three of you in these super like, well, I'm gonna be super shitty to like, you've seen me up like through a bunch of shit, and now I just feel like I can be comfortable now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's good.
And I feel Gesundheit. Thank you. And I feel really weird that it took me so long, but it's just very high walls of like, who are these people? Can I be okay around them?
So we just broke that wall down today?
I don't know. Plus, I'm just like starting to feel okay about a lot.
Okay,
of stuff.
yeah, I was gonna say.
So it's like maybe like a combination of like.
Well, it's also like ebbs and flows, and everybody's like life, and sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And I mean, there have certainly been a few weeks where like these conversations are the only thing that's good in my whole week.
Honestly, I was upset last night, and Rob Gagnon, bless his heart, sees me. He's like, "Brett, are you okay?" I was like, "Not really." And then he like messaged me today. He's like, "Hey, checking in on you." And I was like, "Bless you, Rob Gagnon."
God, what a sweetheart
Oh,
that guy
Rob Gagnon.
He's a sweet man.
He's Big Bird.
I'm just waiting for the adoption papers to come in.
Oh my god.
Wait, he's adopting you or you're adopting him?
I'm asking him to adopt me, which means I'm already adopted in my head, and I just need the verbal confirmation from his lips before we are a go.
See, I'd love to have him as a granddad. I don't know why. Like, I'd love to like skip him. Like, if he could adopt me as a grandfather.
Okay, number one, I think Wendell, I think you and he might be the same age, and again, so like he would be your like 7-year-old dad or something like that.
I would like if he was your wingman and he's like, "This is my grandpa." Same age as you.
This is Peepaw.
What's up, Grandpa?
Let's do this. Yeah.
Peepaw.
Did you see that Zac Efron movie? It's kind of like that.
Peepaw says, "I love me some Bieber."
Tell us about the war.
Which one? 9/11? It was crazy. Yeah. Oh man.
The war on drugs.
The war on drugs. Did ever make you breakfast? I'll tell you about the war on drugs.
It's about the Twitter war between.
Oh my god, we still have bacon.
Where?
At your house?
Yeah.
Not here.
No. Oh my god, no, not here.
Dude, I was just like, you still have bacon? Like, you guys had a bacon party before I showed up? I was like, no, I would have smelled it. I know I would have smelled it.
So
you guys would have buried it.
If only we had a kitchen in here. We could put in like a
hot plate?
Yeah, we could definitely.
Next bacon on
next time
plate.
we just make bacon.
That's all you hear is just...
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever I go over to people's houses, I don't like to come empty-handed, which is why whenever I come to a podcast and I don't bring anything, I feel very shitty and weird the whole time.
Just bring loose bacon, just handfuls of loose bacon.
Well, I went to Alicia's house on Saturday, and she was like, "I'll make you pancakes." And I was like, "Oh, I feel like I should bring a thing." And she said to bring bacon. So I did. I went to HEB, which was also a very weird experience while I was there. I'll tell you about it now.
Yes.
I was buying 3 things. And I go to check out, and I'm in the express lane, which is also the cigarette lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at this particular HEB, the exit is also the entrance past after like 10 p.m. or something.